This is minutes from First Christian Church. These are the original documents. These aren't copies. These aren't facsimiles. These are the original documents that were taken over a period of 1835 to 1844 or 48. It has the unusual script handwriting that one can have to strain a little bit to take a look at. I've never seen this before. It's not actually been in the church since 1935. A relative gave it to the State Historical Society of Missouri in their manuscript collection in Columbia, Missouri, and I had it shipped to Kansas City, the UMKC branch, where I spent a day's afternoon sort of looking at it. I've had photocopies of it, but seeing it in person and touching it in some senses is really kind of remarkable. There's an interesting sort of notes you sort of get at it. It talks about, it says in 1838, the Church of Christ, talks about the appointment of the deacons, and then there's this interesting sort of phrase. It says, the Church of Jesus Christ, constituted and fully organized in Independence, Missouri, on the 4th day of July in the year 1835. The members therein will take only the Bible alone as their Bible of faith and practice. Key phrase here is the members therein will take only the Bible alone as their Bible of faith and practice. So it was interesting. The church is formed on July 4th, Independence Day in Western Independence. Not Western Independence, Western United States, which at that point was the frontier part of the country. You sort of go through it. Here's the original members. There was any number of ways that you could sort of become a member. You were immersed by letter, you were recommended, you were dismissed by letter, dismissed for disorderly conduct, and then total number of some members, long-standing familiar independence names. There were people who mentioned Mima Oldham. She is a colored woman, and she belongs to the church and is sort of joined. At some point, they start numbering the members. We're up to 1841, 1842, and then they start assigning numbers. So here's member 206, 207, 208, 209, and then a running total. Some have deceased, so at that point, at the end of 1842, there's 189 members. 1842, 203, keeps sort of going on. Get new property. These things seem to be ongoing issues in any sort of church. Oh my gosh, what will we do with our church? How will we maintain it? What do we do with the property? And then there was another one. I find this most amusing. This looks like it's December 4th. Somebody came before the church on the charge of presenting a ball to be held in his house on Christmas Eve in 1844, to which charge he frankly acknowledged, stating he was sorry and wondered so much for the brethren's sake about believing that he had done no harm, and because he felt that he was acquitted. Kind of the prior year before that, most of these entries have to do with things that happened to men, but there's one about Sister Anna, maybe Harmon Cook, presented herself to the church for separating herself from her husband, which was judged to be justifiable cause for in doing so. Can't make out the rest of it all, but it apparently is, my speculation would be something to do with perhaps domestic violence, or what we would call domestic violence. It's interesting and remarkable that this document still exists. Thanks to the State Historical Society for taking care of it. It's quite an interesting experience to sort of touch, in some senses, the history of those who have gathered and created a community of faith in Independence, Missouri. Here's Brent Schalnemeyer, and I want to thank the State Historical Society of Missouri and Western Historical Manuscripts Collections for saving this history and providing an opportunity to look at, to take it in, to touch it, and to appreciate the history of those who have gone on, and in some senses created a place and an institution that remains today a vital part of our community and the larger faith community.